Hey, Johnny from johnnygood.com here. Thank you for tuning in to day 5 of my screencasting challenge. Today I'm taking a break from being in front of the camera and I'm back to screencasting and talking to you about parallel processing on drums, and more specifically in Sonar 8. There are stacks of tutorials already on YouTube about this, better ones from more qualified, more knowledgeable people than I, for sure. The reason I'm doing this is because I couldn't find one on Sonar 8, and whilst the process is exactly the same as it is, say, on Pro Tools, there's some nuances in Sonar which are a little bit different. So if you're a Sonar user like me, then hopefully this will be helpful for you. If you've never tried parallel processing before, what it is a way of keeping or adding the punch and energy that you will get from a compressor, but whilst maintaining the dynamics of the original. It works and lends itself particularly well for drums. So let's get going with it. The first thing we need to do, if we right click here and insert stereo bus, I've already done this, we create a stereo bus, let's call it drum bus, and route all of our elements of the kit to that drum bus. You'll see that I've got the kick routed to a track I've called Kick High, and then that's routed to the drum bus. That's a really cool trick I stole from Graham on recordingrevolution.com. He's got some amazing tutorials, so go check that out too. I'm going to talk about his site and a few others later on in the week. But for now, forget about that. Imagine that these are just all routed, which they are, essentially all to the drum bus. So now what we've got is one fader controlling the whole of our drum kit. So let's just bring that up. Okay, cool. So I've added two things here. The first thing that I've added is an EQ, so let's have a listen to that. So the drum. What I've done is just added a bump at about 60 Hertz, a cut for some of the mud again at 347 Hertz, and a high-end shelf. Nothing too surprising. I've also added a Convolution Reverb. It comes bundled with Sonar, so if you're a Sonar user, well, Sonar 8 user, you'll have this called Perfect Space. Convolution Reverbs I find are great for using as a kind of reverb glue to make everything sound or appear like it's been recorded in the same space. That's the idea. Here's like the wet signal from that, so you get the idea. Kind of simulating that kind of live room sound, and that's the whole thing blended in. I'll just take that away. You can hear it lacking when you take it away. I think it works well. Kind of gives a bit of a studio gloss to it as well. These were live drums recorded, so it's going to help that. Okay, what we do now is in Sonar we create another stereo bus. We insert that, and I'm going to call that bus Drum Crush. Okay. Then what we do with Drum Bus, so we go to the top of the track and we insert a send, and that send we're going to send to Drum Crush. Okay, so that's sending this bus to our new stereo bus Drum Crush. This will pop up in your track here, a bit like an on-off and a send level. So in this new bus that we've sent our drum bus to and called Drum Crush, we're going to add in a compressor. I've chosen Blockfish, which is a free download, and I find it really useful compressor, especially for really heavily squashing stuff. Dial in your compressor of choice with the aim of really pumping your drums, and if we just bring this up, you'll hear what I've done. So really heavily compressed, very punchy, but on its own unusable compressed signal. So let's take that back down again. Solo back our drum bus signal. Actually, just take this off, and gently add our compressed drum crush track. So here's the bass on its own, and let's just add some in. Its own. Yeah, cool. So there you go. That's parallel processing on drums in Sonar 8. The method's exactly the same on any DAW, just a couple of nuances, particularly with the way that Sonar sends. And I think there's aux tracks in Pro Tools and stuff like that, so it's a little bit different. But essentially, it's the same method, just a couple of different nuances. I think a really potent way to get the most out of your drums, or try it on other things too. It's a really cool, efficient method again of maintaining the punch, or adding punch and energy, for keeping the dynamics of your original takes. So there you go. That was parallel processing on drums in Sonar 8. Thanks for checking out my screencast day 5. If you enjoyed or found this useful, please subscribe. Check out johnnygood.com, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for screencasting challenge day 6. Have a good one.